I'm Will.
And I'm Jack.
And this is the Java Experiment.
Cigars and Coffee, Part 2.
Yeah.
We are live, and this is pretty exciting because first episode of Cigars and Coffee, we were at Will's old house. Second episode, we've upgraded, and Will's now in his new house, so we got our own little private porch area now.
Backing up to nothing.
Yep, so it's great. Don't have to worry about any neighbors or anything crazy like that. We brought along our favorite little fire pit thing from his old apartment. And we're just having a good time. Chilling. You know. Will's lighting up right now. Always a good time here at the JXP.
So these are kind of funny. They're
Yeah, those are different looking.
yeah. So it's called a.
Oh, and by the way, before we get into it, I am wearing our Cigars and Coffee hoodie here, so if you like what you see, check out the link and you know what to do. Yeah, so these cigars.
Yeah. So the So something I've kind of learned about cigars recently. I kind of knew this, but I didn't really understand it. Is that there's a lot of cigars that are the same, but they're not. Because they're rolled differently. So this is technically a torpedo. That's what they call it. Because the way it is, it's like square on one end and it goes
like
down to a
square.
point, like a torpedo.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, so the end is called box pressed. Here you go. And so like there's a bunch. So this is the Olivia v. Milano Maduro. This cigar is highly rated. It gets top 10 like every year.
It's honestly, I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
The squared edges and stuff.
So it's only on one end like that.
And the other end is like super, it goes down to a point.
Yeah, like a torpedo.
Yeah, but weird.
So
I don't know, I've just never seen anything like this. This is weird.
yeah, so there's like lots of different ways you can get a cigar. And higher end companies like this will make one cigar like Olivia Milano Maduro and get it in different like formats, essentially. Like they might get one that's like a Churchill, then they might get one that's like closer to, and then they have like ones that are like a Robusto, which is like the one we smoked last time, the Judge.
Robusto,
Yeah.
just like coffee.
Yeah.
Robusto beans.
Yeah, but it's used differently, I guess. Spelled the exact same too.
There's so many similarities between cigars and coffee, it's hilarious. You couldn't even think about that one. Cool.
So this time I've upgraded a little bit since the last time.
That's an understatement. Yeah, you gotta explain all the toys you've gotten. Got a ton of cigars. Will's been going ham. There's quite the collection now. But he can do that because he got this crazy thing that'll let you keep your cigars for a long time. Called a humidor. Not a fumidor.
Totally different.
Remember last time I said that one.
So a humidor. You need a humidor to keep your cigars at a certain humidity level. Okay? That's like the basic. Now, there's like really high-end ones like mini fridges. They look like a mini fridge, but they hold like 250. There's ones that are huge, hold a few thousand cigars. Mine is like a wooden one. It's made out of cedar. They're significantly cheaper. It's like $40 versus like the hundreds and thousands of dollars you can spend. It's like anything. Now, most people who even have, like, the higher end ones usually have, like, a couple wooden cigars. Like, they have a couple wooden humidors that, like, because they're not bad. They're just, like, harder to control.
Right. And they don't look as nice as, like, the big mini fridge looking ones.
Yeah, at the same time, some people think they look nicer because it's, like, kind of just, like, sleek. It's just a wooden box. Kind of, like, well, it kind of takes you back a little bit. Like,
back to the good old days?
Yeah, the good old days.
Before you knew what these were?
Yeah, pretty much. So I can store up to 30, well, anywhere from 25 to 50 cigars in mine.
That's a lot.
It depends on the size of the cigar. Now, if you're into higher end cigars, the cigar's going to be a little bit bigger. Like, you can probably fit 200 cigars from a gas station in it.
Backwoods.
Ugh. Just disgusting.
We got the Judge in there. Those are thick. The ones that we did last time. I mean, how many of those could you fit in there? 20 tops?
Probably. Maybe 25.
Yeah.
There's like a divider in there so I can keep like, I don't divide by like each cigar. I divide by like darkness. It's like my lighter cigars are on one side and my dark cigars on the other.
What's the difference between a light and a dark cigar?
It's really similar to coffee. So it's like a dark roast versus a light roast. Except with a dark wrapper and dark tobacco, you actually are gonna get more flavor out of it.
So,
It's
but
like
why is it darker? It's been roasted longer, like beans?
No, it's been dried longer, and it might be darker just from because of where it came from.
Interesting. So there's a couple different ways that it could be.
Yeah, like
dark.
you can get a Nicaraguan. I'm saying that wrong. Wrap.
No, that's right.
Nicaraguan wrap, and they're usually darker. And that's just how they are because of where it is, the climate, whatever. Never really got a good light on this.
It's so funny. Every time he says that word, he thinks he's saying it wrong, but that's right, dude.
Which is hilarious. Probably the only word I say right, and I actually think I say it wrong.
That's like the American way to say it, yeah. But if you're from Nicaragua, you say it like that.
That's hilarious.
I had a roommate who, his dad lived in Nicaragua, and it was like a really weird situation, but yeah, so he would always be talking about it, and he would say it in like that accent, so I just thought it was funny.
That's hilarious.
I just started saying it like that.
So with a humidor, you have to control the humidity.
Right, because they'll get stale.
Time.
They'll get stale if you don't do that.
And it takes time.
Right.
It's about 14 days before
14?
you can even put the cigars in the box.
Now, did you know that when you bought?
Yeah, I did a ton of research because I caught like a clip in a video one time where some guy's like, "Yeah, make sure you season your humidor," and I'm like, "What?" So then I started looking up seasoning humidor, and it's crazy. You gotta like do all this crap. So the old way used to be you take water, distilled water specifically, and you like take a cloth, a microfiber, and you like wet the whole box down, let it absorb, and then do like repeat, and then just kind of like let it sit with it closed for 14 days. Now they have these things called Boveda Packs. Now this is like a point of controversy, but it's stupid because it works and they're more efficient. So they're these packs and they help you control the humidity. So I had like 3 packs in my humidor to get my humidity up quickly.
Yeah.
Because you need it between, depending on where you are. See, here's the thing. Florida is very humid. So your humidor doesn't need to be super humid. You actually want it down lower than what your normal humidity is outside. Because you want your humidity level anywhere from, depending on preference, anywhere from 60 to 70. Now, I like a more moist cigar. And I already knew that. I already knew that.
Clip it.
So
Will likes it moist.
So I shoot for...
It's a new Instagram clip.
I shoot for 69. That's the ideal humidic level.
Humidic?
I don't think that's a word.
I don't think so either. but I know what you mean. So that's your target humidity.
My humidity is a little high right now. It's like 70, 71.
Yeah, let's drop it down 2 degrees.
Well, I took a pack out. I'm down to 1 pack in there. Now that I feel like it's up there, I want to like just maintain. So they have these different packs with different humidity levels on the pack. Now the pack takes away and brings it back. And you can revive the packs too. And they last a really long time. They're super cheap. So you can get like a pack of 15 for like $10. Now I ordered these on Cigars Daily. I got a huge pack of them for a really discounted price because he's got a big sale. The owner, Tim, seems like a really nice guy. I like his YouTube channel a lot. It's been
Shout out to
super
you, Tim.
helpful. If he ever watches this, he's gonna laugh because like I obviously don't know anything compared to him. But
Is that the guy that was like, and we find out where they cut in the light?
yeah, I love that line.
Yeah,
It's like
that was clever.
It's like, and he's consistent. It's every cigar review. You know, he's talking about the flavor of the cigar, what people say about it, and he's like, but the only way we can know is with a cut and a light. And he does this cool, like, little edit where he cuts and then lights and smokes it. And I think that's cool. And
Legend.
he's a catchy guy. Like, he's really energetic.
He's a catchy guy?
Yeah, like that's not the right word. He draws you in. Like, he's good at... Charismatic.
Yeah.
He used to be a pastor before he started his cigar company. So it makes a lot of sense.
That's awesome.
He like has had his now, like
great.
he goes to a different church now. He's like a worship leader there.
Yeah.
But like his pastor's been on his podcast talking about cigars and stuff, and cigars in the Christian world, which I found super interesting. Obviously, just because of where I'm coming from, I thought that was interesting. Like, I don't know. There's a lot where we grew up. I'd say that there's a lot of things that me and Jack talk about that would not be accepted where we grew up or as we grew up. And I feel like me and Jack go against the grain in a lot of ways.
I think that's an understatement.
It's definitely an understatement.
But you were telling me, like, we can cut this if you don't want me to say this, but you said, like a couple weeks ago or whatever, you were with your pastor and you were smoking cigars with him.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It was cool. And I think that was awesome. And I think I might have even mentioned that in the last episode.
Oh, maybe you did.
I might have.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't see, there's just a lot of negative connotations with it. And I think the reason is because people abuse it. I think it's like anything, like alcohol, smoking. It's like people do too much of it and it becomes a bad thing.
And there could be an argument made for coffee, too.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
Like your brain responds the same way to caffeine as does heroin. So I guess like in a subconscious sense or in a mental sense, however you want to say it, it's the same as heroin. It's not actually, it doesn't actually do the same things. Your body isn't affected the same way, but your brain responds similarly. So
right. Yeah, the addiction to it.
Yeah.
100%.
And I'm sure my brain responds very similarly.
But honestly, that's everything in life. Sugar, super bad for you if you get too much of it. It's like it just depends on what it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everything in moderation. Yeah.
So, Olivia V Cigars is a series. And then this is the Milano Maduro, which is like a specific... Now, lots of cigar companies make a Milano Maduro.
Gotcha.
It's like the type of blend of tobacco. It's like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. It'd almost be like a bunch of people trying to make a Pike Place coffee.
Well, you'll see a Colombian roast from Starbucks. You'll see it from 8 o'clock.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just like that.
It's the same.
Yep. Sure.
So, like, I just want to throw out some flavors here before we start randomly talking about, like, random BS or whatever. So, the wrapper, I misspoke early. The wrapper is Mexican Maduro. The binder, which is the tobacco, and the filler, which is the tobacco in the center. No, sorry. The binder's
not the tobacco.
The binder's in the center. That's right. I'm saying it wrong.
The binder is what makes it, like, stick together.
That's right. The binder is
But what is that?
So it's Nicaraguan Habano, which is the same as the filler. So I think it is the same.
What do they melt it down to a liquid or something? 'Cause how
I
do
think
get
they
it to
use
stick?
it that's just for, it's like the, in between the wrapper and the filler. And then the strength is medium to full. Or medium full. Depends, I don't know how you, I think that's how you say it, medium full. Now if you pull up the description, the Olivia Series V Milano is a hand-rolled, expertly fermented Ligero fillers, leaves known for the robust and rich flavor. 5 years in the making, the special cigar is sure to exceed a premium cigar smoker's highest expectations. The blending notes is full-flavored yet smooth, which I would agree with.
It's super smooth.
It's way smoother than the Judge.
Way smooth.
The Judge is
in your face.
it'll kick you in the face.
Yeah, yeah. If
Like,
you're not ready for it.
If you've never smoked a cigar before, I don't know if I would start with that one. But it's one of my favorites now. It's awesome.
I like comparing these because I don't know anything about cigars, and like this compared to the Judge is like completely different.
Yeah?
Totally different. Yeah.
That's cool that you recognize that.
Like I totally understand what they're saying about smooth, and like the flavors from this are way more like it's more subtle. It's not like in your face, like I said, like you just too much. This is honestly, I like this better.
Okay.
I like this better.
I like them both a lot for different reasons. So the blending notes, it's very smooth. The long filler tobaccos are a blend of Olivia Nicaraguan Habano, Habano. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. That emphasizes tobacco from the Jalapa or Jalapa, Jalapa region, an area known for a more nuanced leaf than the Estelia or Condiga regions. I don't know. This carefully aged Jalapa or Jalapa blend produces a particularly flavored smoke, which I'd agree with.
Welcome back to the job experiment where Will tries to read geographic locations.
Yeah, for real. You should have you could literally probably make a whole video at this point of me just reading names
And butchering them.
butchering. Oh jeez.
No, those all sounded pretty difficult. Probably wouldn't do any better
I
than you.
have no idea. Should have my sister interpret that on Instagram. This keeps going out because I keep reading. Now this lighter is new too. This is a Vertigo. Can't say anything tonight.
No, you said it right the first time, and then you second guessed yourself.
I keep doing that. Vertigo. It's because it the way it's spelled versus how it's said.
Oh, it's
I
spelled
saw it
differently?
Yeah, it's Vertigo.
Yeah, it's like vertigo, like if you felt like you're gonna throw up or something. Yeah.
So anyways, they sell that on Amazon. It's a 2-pack for $14. It's awesome. It's one of the top rated lighters. Now I thought to get the top rated cigar lighter, I'm gonna spend $100. And I was mentally there. I was ready to go. But when I found out this is the highest rate, most people recommend this one, I was like, oh sick. Ordered the 2-pack, done deal. Now I'm working on getting a good cigar cutter. The one I have was given to me. It's a good one, but it's not a great one.
Where'd you get it from?
My father-in-law gave it to me. So it's cool.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure that out. There's good ones. Benchmade makes a $200 cigar cutter.
All of their stuff is just way too expensive.
Spyderco makes one. I don't think it's as much. I think it's $80.
Freaking Benchmade.
Warrior Poet sells one. That's pretty sick. It's got his logo on it. So that one's sick.
The Job Experiment's gonna sell one.
That'd be sick.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, dude. We should at some point we should sell cigar cutters and Glencairn whiskey glasses that say Job Experiment on the outside.
Or just Cigars and Coffee.
Oh, that'd be even better. Cigars and Coffee.
More people buy that because they don't know what the Job Experiment is.
And then Yeti glasses that say JXB or something.
JXP. Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna lie to the viewer. I can't.
We have this whole elaborate plan.
Because this is Cigars and Coffee. Now, it's actually a little hot out tonight, which is weird, because it's been cold all week. But
It's not that hot, but we're sitting next to a fire.
Yeah,
so
I feel pretty warm.
it's pretty warm.
I'm not as skinny as Jack, though. So
I'm also representing the merch, so I'm
Yeah.
not taking this off.
I'm not.
Yeah, I don't know what you're representing with that shirt.
I figured it was fitting, because, like, the last episode was, like, kind of creepy. And I'm like, well, like our last Cigars and Coffee episode was kind of creepy with the barn and everything. And I'm like, man, this isn't that creepy, so I'll wear my nun shirt. Figured it was suiting.
Fair enough. So yeah, we had this whole elaborate plan to be like, yeah, Cigars and Coffee. Today we're drinking
Nothing.
a Himalayan blend.
Yeah, a Himalayan blend from Target. That was our plan. That's not what we're drinking. I'm not gonna lie to the viewership. Once again, we're drinking another alcoholic beverage.
Busted.
Busted. It's got ice in it because it's hot out. And honestly, it goes really well with the cigar. I'm not upset.
Could definitely be worse.
I think because this cigar is pretty smooth, and it isn't.
Yeah,
like
if
a
this was the
heavy hitter.
Judge, I think I'd be like
Nasty. The Judge went very well with coffee. This, I feel like, could go really well with a nice cold beer. Or, like, a Dark and Stormy.
which is what we're drinking now.
Now, Dark and Stormy is ginger beer with a dark rum. It's essential. It's like, kind of comes from, like, a variation of a Moscow Mule. I love Moscow Mules, which is, like, vodka, lime slice, lime juice, and ginger beer. And then there's a Irish Mule, which is like the same thing made with like Tully or Jameson. And then this is a Dark and Stormy. It's like it's kind of like I don't know, like a Navy twist or a sea twist. So it's just rum and ginger beer because they don't have limes on the ship.
Yep. And the rum's called Kraken.
Yeah.
Specifically, so.
It's a dark rum.
Just fits.
It's one of my favorites. If you drink it straight, it tastes like brown sugar. Especially if you drink like other stuff regularly, it's like, whoa, this thing's sweet. It's crazy.
Super dark though. Yeah. It's good. Yep. Yeah, so we are not drinking coffee, so really it's rum and cigars.
It's only the second episode of this series, and we've diverged. Now, like, we could call this the crossover episode. It's an intro to, I don't know, our JXP at dark, in darkness.
Come on.
JXP After Dark.
There we go.
I was just giving Jack a hard time.
Yes, so we are starting a new series.
It already started, technically, at this point.
By the time this comes out, you've already heard the
At least 2 or 3 episodes.
at least the first one, yeah. And I'm excited about it. We've been talking about this just because, with coffee, we love it so much, and we've talked a lot about coffee, and we still are going to drink coffee.
3 seasons worth.
Yeah, and talk about it, but we also want to expand into some other avenues, and, we both enjoy drinking, having a nice time, and just chilling, so, we, the first official episode was the Blue Barn one, but we're not calling it that. So really, JXP After Dark number 1 will be the bourbon episode that you have already heard by now. And then, we're just kind of...
And then it might be this one.
Yeah, who knows?
Might be mentioning that.
Yeah, we have more recorded.
We did do, we're recording a lot at once.
Yeah.
Like, we'll record, every time we get together, we record, like, maybe 1, maybe 2, usually 2 or 3 episodes in one night. But we do each one differently. So, like, that's why we have different series going on. So we have this one, we got the After Dark, and then we have our regular coffee show, which is definitely going down a more comedic route. And I think we might start talking about, like, maybe some stuff going on in the real world just to, like, add some comedic humor to it. I don't know how we're gonna do that. I don't know how to talk about stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of shows I like watching. I want to take some things from them, like Theo Von show and stuff like that. but I don't want to like get political. So I gotta figure out how to do that. I'm sure there's news out there that's kind of funny outside of politics, which actually might be helpful to people just to get out there. You know?
Get away from it, yeah.
And then we also have like our other kind of like occasional interview too.
Yeah.
So I think this gives us a lot more content to work with. Somebody said one time like, oh yeah, it's MKBHD. Like everybody's like, man, you never run out of videos. He's like, well, yeah, because like if it has a button or a power button or something, then I can make a video on it because of the way he set up his channel. It's not just phones, and that's why he was able to go to like electric cars and things like that, which is cool.
Yeah.
And then you have like Joe Rogan, who like he's kind of stuck just interviewing. Like he can't make a video about anything else just because he's stuck in that world.
Yeah. No, exactly. So we're trying to obviously kind of step away from being cornered into one specific thing.
Yeah, early on.
Yeah, we can open it up and be like, yeah, we'll just talk about whatever, you know?
The other thing is, like, I don't think that you can maintain, at least with coffee, I don't think you can do that forever without being a dull, boring, dead person. And that's not to say we don't love coffee anymore. We love coffee. We drink it all the time. But, like, I wouldn't say even that we've reached peak level either. I'm sure there's, like, farther we can go.
Yeah, there's always going to be something that comes out about coffee.
But,
yeah,
not enough to make an episode every week. You know, a week-to-week difference in our coffee life is not big.
Yeah, because for me, when I order a bag of coffee, that I have to drink the same thing for a month.
Right.
Then I get another one. Same thing for a month.
I probably drink mine for, like, 2 weeks. So that's not a lot of time, and like I do reorder things too that I like. So it creates a content gap.
Yeah, especially when we're trying to pump out at least two episodes every time we get together. There's just not enough content to do that. Every week. So.
And we want the job experiment or like the job experiment to be more like the Will and Jack show. I would say.
I mean, that's always what it's been.
Yeah, it's always what it's been, and then we're kind of just like identifying that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get over it and freaking leave if you don't like it. Or join the movement, because like we're freaking rolling coal and moving in.
Rolling coal. Yeah, for real. Like, and that's kind of, it just makes it more interesting so we don't get bored. We can sit here and talk about whatever's going on in life, really. And, like I mentioned we're at Will's new house. It's a big thing that we're not just going to glaze over and move on. And, I moved into my own townhouse a little while ago. We talked about that. It's like, we're just kind of relaxing. And I think it's more entertaining, too, for the viewers to just kind of chill, sit back. Our episodes come out on Saturday morning, which is great because usually people are at home with their family, And, we're trying to make it, obviously, we want it to be kid-friendly and all that, with the exception sometimes, if we're smoking a cigar or something, if you don't want your kid to see that, then whatever. You can.
Yeah, I would say, like, the kids probably skip cigars and coffee and skip after dark.
Yeah, but also it's not like, you guys know us by now, like, we're not sitting here just swearing up a storm, like, we keep it clean either way. But yeah, we're just literally just doing this to diversify and keeping it real with the audience. So.
Keeping it real.
Yeah. Drinking dark and stormies.
Dark and stormy. Did you set a timer?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Of course. Yeah.
So our
we're limited.
Camera runs out of time.
That's the other thing. Remember in that one episode that we broke down the gear that we used? That episode was the episode we threw away. So we can talk about that.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah, I had a full breakdown, all this gear that we're
using.
So that's
the other thing. Like, me and Jack love gear. Anything we get into is, like, I would say half of the reason we get into it is because of the gear.
For sure. We just like things. Like,
we like stuff.
We like the finer things in life.
Yeah.
That sounds bad.
No, it's true, though. Like, I get into hunting, I'm like, shoot, I really like this. I'm going to get the best stuff. Even if it takes me a couple years to get everything I need, I'm getting the best stuff.
We know what we like, and we invest in what we like, so you know, sue us. We're just we're out here having a good time. So anyways, the breakdown of the gear that we're using.
For the video.
So yeah, so obviously if you're listening to this, well, that's an upgrade too, because now we're using an actual microphone.
Which is an upgrade and a downgrade, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, we've had some issues, including episodes we've had to throw away entirely.
Which is why we record more than one episode when we're together.
That's also why, yeah. But since then, I figured out what the problem was and I fixed it, I think. So, should be good. So, yeah, I guess we'll start out with the mics. So, basically, we're now using a wireless lapel system. So we use the Rode Link, which is a really good mic. So basically there's a transceiver and a receiver, and it's wireless, so we have the mic here. The transceiver is hooked up to the camera.
So you don't sync audio and overlap it with our video later on. It does that as we film.
Yeah, so while it's recording, the audio, instead of going into the camera's microphone, goes into our microphone, gets transmitted into there, and it goes right in. So, way better system than what we've had before. That's our mic, the Rode Link. Check it out, it's cool. Camera we're using is the Sony A7 Iii. Great camera. It has its limitations. Like you heard us talking about the timer. It can only record for 30 minutes, so...
But our last camera was 20, right?
15.
15?
Yeah. So it's double what I was using. So that's a big upgrade. And it's a real nice camera. I love it. The tripod, you know, just standard tripod. You can find it anywhere. We've got some nice studio lights that we're using. That's how you can actually see us this time. They work great. I don't remember what the brand is, but you can find these on Amazon for pretty cheap, actually.
Yeah, the studio lights, I see a lot of guys grab the Amazon Basics ones.
Yeah.
And people love them.
Yeah.
My dad grabbed, during like COVID and stuff, he had a lot of online messages like to churches and stuff, and he bought like a ring light on Amazon. And that thing works mint.
Yeah, if you're doing a solo thing, that's perfect for that, yeah.
Yeah. What kind of tripod we got going?
Yeah, the tripod, I don't remember what the brand is, but, you know.
We also have like a DJI, what is it, your gimbal thing?
Yeah, we don't use that for this, really, but...
We have, though, for like promotional stuff, right?
Maybe like once. I don't really use that very much.
I think we've used that more for truck stuff.
Yeah, probably. We've got this Apache case here. It's like it looks pretty sweet, so.
They're very expensive.
It's pretty nice. So it's fully insulated, whatever. The camera, you cut out sections of foam to keep the camera secure while you're traveling. Super rugged case. We'll definitely just messed up the audio.
Jake's like, boom!
Yeah. And that's pretty much it. And I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro to edit all this audio, video.
On a Mac Mini?
Yep,
right.
On a Mac Mini. Yep.
So you still got the MacBook Pro, but your Mac Mini is like the heavy hitter now, right?
Yes, I love my Mac Mini.
Me and my wife talked about buying that probably this year. We might just get it for Christmas for each other kind of thing.
Thing's a beast.
Put it in our office upstairs.
The new Mac Mini with the M1 chip. Whew, lightning fast.
Cannot beat it for the price. It's like $6.99. And
starting, yeah.
Yeah, but like I think it's. Did you upgrade anything on it? Hard drive?
I forgot what I upgraded. I upgraded a couple of things, but it was like $1,000.
The RAM probably.
Yeah, that was the big thing, but I think maybe that was it. I can't remember.
Do you have 512?
But I don't remember how much storage I got, but I have external hard drives and stuff that I use because video. It doesn't matter how much space you have on your computer. You have to have external hard drives because video takes up so much space.
Crazy. So. It's like video games now. Every freaking update for Warzone, it's like 50 gigs, 40 gigs.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, bro, it's just like Season 5, Battle Pass, 40 gigs.
Dude, I remember when the iPod Touch came out with 8 gigabytes, and it was a huge deal. And it was like, 8 gigs, I can hold so many songs on here.
Dude, I remember when I got the Zune HD
I remember that thing.
from Microsoft.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, this is going to be the iPod killer. And that thing had crazy more RAM, had 16 gigabyte hard drive. And I was like, I could download way more songs than anybody else I knew. And I was like,
and what happened to the Zune?
I mean, I had it for a while, but they don't make that anymore.
Fell off the grid because it did not compare to the iPod Touch at all.
No.
Apple's just...
And Android kind of ate them up too. Like, because Android, smartphones and stuff started coming out.
Yeah.
It was like, man, a smartphone costs the same as this thing.
Yeah. They still make iPods, though. Apple does.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't think they did, but somebody the other day was talking about it. I was like, really?
I think I heard that because I have some buddies who are kind of, I don't know, I would say in the conspiracy world, I guess. I wouldn't call it that necessarily, but like they're thinking about switching to flip phones. But then they're like, what would I do with my music and my podcasts? And they're like, oh, I'll just buy an iPod Touch. I'm like, what the flip? That's crazy, bro. And I'm like, I'm a weird, like, middle guy, dude. Like, I believe a lot of that stuff, and I'm all in on that stuff.
Okay. Let's get one thing straight.
What?
Will's not in the middle about anything, so we can just
Well, no, what I
off the
mean by
table.
that is I'm all in on that stuff, but I love technology.
Oh, gotcha.
And it's
gotcha.
like, it freaking,
It's a trade-off.
so I don't. I just do both. See, that's the problem, dude. When I'm in, I'm all in on everything. Probably getting the new iPhone 13. Thinking about pre-ordering it. They said they'd give me $400 for my old iPhone, so I'd pay like $300 for the new one.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't
They're
beat
nice.
it. Yeah, and mine's paid off stuff, so
Is that the 12?
it's 11.
11.
So I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
I'm up for an upgrade, anyways. And
Yeah.
dude, my phone drops calls like it's a freaking job. Like, I was on the phone with you today.
Yeah, just hung up.
Just drops it, and I look at my phone, and like the LTE thing will go away, and then I'll drive like a mile, and it pops back up.
I've had weird things like that happen to me, too. I don't know.
It's been happening a lot lately.
Welcome to the job experiment, conspiracy theorists. Yeah. Oh, dude, check out the claws we got going.
Yeah, so
Look
like,
at that. Yeah, explain the claw thing.
yeah,
For
so
people that don't know.
if you are a cigar smoker and you knock the claw off, you are not a cigar smoker.
Yeah, let's get one thing straight. This is the only way to smoke a cigar.
It's like thinking that your Chemex is supposed to cone down. It's not. It's supposed to be like flat when you're done. So like this, the claw, if you can get a claw out to like here or whatever, 2/3 in, like
It's super
that's
hard to
a
do.
good cigar.
It's super hard to do.
But it also
You gotta be careful with it, because if
but
you knock it or
a
something.
claw speaks to the quality of the cigar. That's the biggest reason. The other thing is, when you knock the claw off, you might lose your burn, and you might have to relight. You don't necessarily always have to do that, but that can play into it. Now, the less you have to relight a cigar, the better. You're not burning the tobacco, you're not getting too hot.
Right.
That fun stuff. And if you have a nice cool burn, which I would say we both have right now.
I haven't relit this once.
I only had to relight when I was talking a bunch. But
Yeah.
when you have a cool burn, you're not going to wake up the next morning feeling like you ate a pack of cigarettes or like freaking chewed on a pile of charcoal.
Now, to clarify, have you ever done one of those things?
No.
Okay.
I just
thought I
can
would ask.
imagine that's what it would feel like. Like, it can be, if you have a really hot cigar and you're burning through it really fast, like, you're going to have, like, soot in your mouth in the morning, and it's going to taste gross, and you're like, ooh.
Me and Will started with smoking pipe tobacco. And,
Early on.
Yeah, and we didn't know
When
anything
no
about
one
that.
knew.
Yeah, right.
That was a big secret.
Sorry, Mom. No.
We, like, went to some smoke shop on Dewey Ave. Now, dude, I bet that's looking back, this smoke shop is probably pretty legit.
It probably is.
That dude has the biggest cigar I've ever seen, still to this day. It was like he was chewing on it. Just hanging out with his mouth.
I remember it, yeah.
It was like out to here. And you should try it. What do you guys want?
Yeah, like all of his teeth were like yellow from
Yeah,
smoking
bro.
cigars.
And like everybody was smoking in there and stuff.
Yeah.
And he sold bongs and stuff. But he sold pipes. And he sold a lot of tobacco. Like,
Yeah. And he kept them in jars,
and
yeah.
jars.
That was sick, yeah.
And he would give it to you in like
All
a
the
plastic
flavors.
bag. Or you could buy like a whole mason jar. Sorry, had to deal with a child.
Dad probs.
And my cigar went out.
Yeah, these things are really good, actually. I really like this.
So when your cigar goes out, you have to knock the claw off.
Right, to relight it.
Yeah.
So that's the issue. Anyways, that's what we were talking about, tobacco. So we started with that. Just, you know, we would buy like, and again, we're not like chain smokers or something, but we just like every couple months we would get together and like whatever. If
I feel like the first year we owned pipes, we smoked like twice
a year or something.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah.
It was like nothing.
But like after we would smoke that, like the next day, my mouth was like on fire. Like I could still taste it.
We just didn't know what we were doing, bro.
Yeah.
We were just stuffing tobacco in there and be like lighting it until we saw a fire. And we're like, that's what you do.
Will would be like, just pack it in there.
Yeah,
just light it up.
lighting it.
You want to see coals?
We're like, oh, it's not hot enough. Freaking lighting it again.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, it's like, oh, my mouth's not burning. Freaking light it again. Oh, you lost it. That sucks.
Right in my pants.
Always, dude. Always. So, yeah. So, that's what we started with. And then I learned how to do that a little bit better. I had some friends who started doing it that were getting better, like Peyton. We got really into it for a little bit.
He told us about that smoke shop that we went to.
Yeah, that's where we went. And then,
it's so random, that place.
Yeah, bro. And my buddy Taylor, shout out to Taylor, he's super into pipe tobacco. And, like, there's a pipe tobacco. We should have him on one of our Cigars and Coffee episodes, because he bought a bunch of pipe tobacco from a store that was going out of business, and it's pipe tobacco like you can't get it anymore. Now, pipe tobacco is cool, because, like, and same with cigars, that I didn't realize. Like, the older they are, as long as you've kept them sealed, and either in a humidor with cigars, or, like, sealed in a mason jar for pipe tobacco, it'll last for, like, ever.
Oh, wow.
And, as it ages, it gets better, and you get more flavors from it.
Dang.
So that's where it's probably more like wine than anything else. Even more like wine than like whiskey. Because whiskey, it's like aged in barrels. But you can have a 16-year-old lock of one 10 years from now. And it's the same as when it came out of the barrel.
Right.
It doesn't age anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes
But like
sense.
wine does.
Right.
Cigars do. So.
Yeah. That's a good comparison.
Yeah. Coffee, it's interesting. Like, if they're a whole bean and they're sealed, that's still a consumable, like beans and rice. Like,
yeah.
It's like
it's
more like a food in that aspect.
Yeah.
Than it is, right?
What I've heard though, the coffee beans themselves, if you don't roast them, they'll last forever. But as soon as you roast it, that clock starts ticking, and you can only prolong that clock, but you can't completely stop it.
Okay.
So, like for me, I have that vacuum sealed container I keep the beans in, but I'll tell you, when I get to the bottom of it, after about a month, you can kind of tell a difference. Like it's not like it's like noticeably, oh, this tastes terrible, but it just doesn't taste as good as like the first scoop that you get out of it. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, dude, it's not. I was gonna look it up, but
I wonder why for the cigar. Like, is it just because the tobacco, the way it dries or something? Like what does length of time mean for that? Because it's already been dried and rolled. I don't know. It seems odd to me.
It seems odd to you that it ages because it's been dried and rolled.
It seems odd to me you'd get more flavor from it. Where's the flavor coming from?
I think it just I think it's the flavor that was there. It's more prevalent with time.
I just don't understand why.
Because it's time to rest. I think I'm kind of going off what people have said. I don't know how accurate it is, but it seems like it's pretty accurate because that's what a lot of people say.
Oh, yeah. If that's what the professionals say.
They also recommend
Leave
that
it to
like,
them.
before you smoke a cigar, take out your humidor and let it rest for a couple hours. Like I had these two sitting on top of my humidor for the last like 3 hours. You want them to
you
be
were
like,
ready for this.
Yeah. You want these to be room temp.
Gotcha. It's like when you're going to cook steak or something.
Exactly.
Take it out, let it sit, gets room temp. Yeah.
Yep. Kind of comes to like because you don't want it too cold, you don't want it too hot. It's good to be in like your house temperature.
Yeah.
You know, like 68 degrees, but right. So.
Well, if it's your house, 60 degrees.
That's why the air conditioner was off in my room though.
Nice.
I'm dead on, bro. I don't mess.
Yeah, when it comes to cigars and things that Will loves, he does not play games.
All in, buddy.
All in since day one.
Dude, it was after the last Cigars Coffee. The judge really just kicked the fire in my rear.
Yeah, it wasn't long after you sent me like pictures of all this stuff that you bought, the humidor, the 30 cigars or whatever you bought. I was like, dang, this guy's going in.
Well, so first off, if you buy cigars online in bulk, you save a ton of money.
Like anything, of course.
A ton of money. Like, this cigar at a cigar shop in town is $22.
Each?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm smoking right now, this was $22. If you were to buy it,
if you bought it in a
separate.
cigar shop, like at
This exact one? That's crazy.
because I've bought this one before.
22.
It was $22. Oh, dude, you had this one, but it was stale.
Oh. Really? I swear I've never seen one of these.
It was
aboard
rolled
torpedo
differently.
thing.
But it was the same. It was the Olivia v Milano Maduro.
Gotcha.
It wasn't a torpedo. It was the Robusta or Robusta, however you say it.
Robusta. That makes sense.
$22 a cigar. If you buy this online individually, it's $13. If you buy it as a 10-pack, it's $110.
110 for how many?
12-pack.
Oh yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
That's a really good deal.
Yeah.
It's half the price.
And a 5-pack is like 62 or something like that. The more you get, the better the deal is. You know what I'm saying? Like the Judge. $17.99 cigar shop. Cigars Daily. It's like $11. A 5-pack, $50. I don't think they sell a 10-pack of it.
Yeah. But that's how they get you, because in order to do that, you have to have a humidor. Because they'll get stale pretty quick.
So that's why I ordered a humidor.
Yep.
Because I realized I'm going to start saving a ton of money by just ordering cigars online and having a supply.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to just run to the cigar shop and be like, oh, I want to smoke tonight. I don't smoke often.
Right.
But when I want to smoke, I want to smoke like now. I get in like a mood.
Yeah.
Most of the time I smoke, it's like either a buddy's over. I never smoke alone.
Yeah.
Either a buddy's over or like the night I bought my house and moved in, one of my buddies had never had a really good cigar before. Gave him one. I didn't give him one of my top ones. Now
We got to break them in.
Well, there was another deal.
Just like me, you gave me a stale one first.
Yeah, on Cigars Daily. That was I didn't know what I was doing. On Cigars Daily, when I bought the 10 or 12, it was 10 or 12 pack. I don't remember. You got a 10 pack of free cigars from Olivia, and it's like a bunch of different ones that they have. I got a couple of Connecticut's. I got a couple of those. Now, Connecticut's are a pretty light cigar, but they're good. They're just different. So I had my buddy smoke a Connecticut. They're a little bit cheaper. It'd be like in the $7 per cigar range. Some guys would put that in their daily smoke category. I think for a cigar to be in the daily smoke category, it's got to be like $4.
Yeah. Who's smoking a cigar every day? That's expensive.
That guy Tim on Cigars Daily does. I don't know.
That's
He
expensive.
smokes more than one every day. But at Cigars Daily, when they were saying that when they look over every cigar they get in from every company to make sure the wrapper's not torn, that it's not moldy, and if it's any of those things, the employees get them. You know what I'm saying? Because you can fix those things by doing certain things,
Oh yeah, I bet.
but you're not gonna sell that to people.
Right.
Like they sell cigar glue. It's not glue. It's like made with tobacco or whatever, but to fix the wrapper so you can smoke it. And they sell it on their website if that happened to yours, like if your cigar got cracked and stuff. But like obviously, being a good company that they're not gonna sell it to you like that. So they keep them for themselves. It's cool. I mean, so I got a 10-pack of Olivia cigars. So I ended up spending $120 for like 22 cigars. Can't beat it. Alright. It's like I have explaining to do, because I keep having to stop for Charlotte.
Explain yourself. What's wrong with your kid?
My wife is away.
It's been rough.
It's been like 4 hours since she left.
It's felt like years.
She left at like 4:30 this afternoon. She comes back tomorrow at noon. I have the dog and Charlotte and the cat and the house.
And me.
And Jack.
Will's babysitting me also.
Yeah, so.
It's been a lot.
First weekend alone with the kid. Like, anytime she makes a noise, I'm like, shoot, gotta go.
But it went pretty good, right?
I think so. I think everything's going good. Like,
yeah.
She went down right away. She's talking in her sleep. I thought she was like awake.
Yeah, we kept hearing.
I thought she was talking.
Yeah.
Cause she like sits up in her crib now and like will just play, and like talks to herself like in the dark. It's creepy. The cat
just
was
like her dad.
The cat was in there. Got the cat out. The cat might have been waking her up. The cat's funny, dude. Like Charlotte, we thought was sick. This whole week, but I didn't know that she was teething and she had like 3 teeth pop out. So like usually they get really nasally and they drool a lot and they have fevers and stuff when they're teething. Anyways, there was one night we had Charlotte sleep in our room because she was like up every couple of hours, so it's just easier to have her in our room. And I woke up in the middle of the night and the cat's like asleep on Charlotte's feet, like just like chilling there.
Wow.
And Charlotte's like holding the cat's like head in her sleep. It's the cutest. So, cat's not nice to me, but the cat's nice to the baby. So, the cat.
What more could you ask
for?
for?
The cat stays, I guess.
And now Charlotte has a connection with it. Imagine what she would do if she found out that her dad had to put the cat down. Your dad took the cat out back, and then he came back by himself.
The cat disappeared. Yeah, I'm not a big cat person. Jack grew up with cats.
Okay, we had one cat. Okay,
that's because they don't die.
Yeah, it just seems like we had a lot of cats, but yeah, Thomas lasted a long time.
Dude, we had a friend growing up, and I'm pretty sure they buried their cat like 3 or 4 times.
Who?
Matt Greer. Their cat Libby. There were so many times that there would be a dead cat, and they were like, "Oh, that's our cat," because they had an outdoor cat.
Yeah, it was always in that garage thing.
Yeah, dude, they buried like 3 other people's cats, thinking that it was their cat. That happened over 3 times.
No.
Dead serious. And then I remember Matthew telling me on like a pizza night on a Friday, like, "Yeah, we buried our cat yesterday." Freaking me and him walk outside to go play hide and seek in the dark or whatever. Cat sitting on the porch. Shoot, bro. Like and like, you know, like
that cat really does have 9
Joe
lives.
Plants was like 9 lives, bro. What the
It was a bird.
No, dude, that was a raccoon, bro.
Was it?
Yeah, it's a raccoon. You just take the point flashlight over there. If you see eyes, bro, let me know. Freaking 22. It's freaking.
That'd be funny. Live on the podcast, Will kills a raccoon.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah,
Would be for our podcast.
Yeah, well, if you enjoyed that porcupine story, you might see a real life version of that in a couple minutes here.
I got subsonics in my room too, so like.
Lock and load.
0 noise. Anyways. So I thought, you know, so we're doing a long episode tonight because we got a cigar and they take, like a good cigar can take like an hour to smoke. So, one of our favorite episodes this year has been the rapid fire questions. I thought it'd be about time for another rapid fire questions.
This time we're not taking
notes. This time, no prep.
Oh,
boom,
no.
boom, boom, boom.
I hate this.
I'm gonna say, it's gonna be like truth or dare. I don't know what you do though if you don't want to answer.
You mean would you rather?
Is that what it is?
That's
I've seen this on
easier.
YouTube a couple times.
What do you mean,
where
truth or dare?
they usually turn it into like a
what can we
drinking
do?
game, but I don't want to do that.
What kind of dares can you do? We're sitting down talking.
All right, we're just gonna do rapid fire. Don't have to complicate it. Are you a back sleeper, stomach sleeper, or side sleeper?
Okay. Didn't we ask this last time?
I don't know.
I swear I gave this answer before. I sleep on my side unless I wake up and then I go back to bed. Then I go on my stomach. Like if I wake up at like 8 or something and I can sleep in, for whatever reason, I'll sleep on my stomach for the next like hour.
That's what I do in like Saturday morning, Sunday morning. I'm like,
yeah.
out, dude.
Wait, do that again? What?
My hand will be like, up, and I'm like,
what is
face
that?
in the pillow. Sleep.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm so tired, I like grab onto the headboard, the metal headboard, and I'm like,
why?
anyways, you ask your question.
Why?
I sleep weird, bro. I sleep super weird. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, you know that. I sleep super weird. And I can sleep anywhere. I literally could fall asleep here right now. You gave me like 5-10 minutes. Out. Cold. Till the morning.
Who was it? I think it was you. That one time, it was like an RYC thing or something. We were all sleeping down in the basement. And like, I thought it was...
Your house or mine?
Yeah, it was yours. I think you were asleep. And Matt Greer was up, and he hit you in the face with a Lord of the Rings action figure? Or was it the other way around?
Yeah. No, Matthew didn't mean it was like Gandalf or something.
Yeah, he had to wake you up.
And I didn't even wake up.
Yeah, I remember that. No, that was crazy. Yeah, you were a heavy sleeper. Yeah, he hit you with that freaking action figure.
I still am, bro. I do not wake up.
Hit you with a Gandalf.
I do not wake up, bro. Nah, no bueno.
Alright. My question is cigar related.
Okay.
So, out of all the cigars that you've had now, what's your favorite brand of cigar?
My father.
That's who makes the judge, right?
Yeah, that's who makes the judge, and they make a bunch of other really good ones. I've only had 2 cigars from them, but just based off reviews and everything, my father, top of the line, put out really good. They're still owned by the original family who started the company, so it's cool. And then my second would be Olivia. So
nice. I want to know, did you ever go back to that one cigar shop that we went to originally? That really creepy one where the guy came up to the door and he was like, "Greetings, gentlemen."
No.
Did we ever mention that on here?
No.
Oh my goodness.
So
that was terrifying.
I got my hair cut.
Yeah.
And we met at this cigar shop next door.
Yeah.
On like Monroe Ave or something.
It's like right, in the city somewhere.
Yeah. It's like near Park. I don't even know where it is. And it's really not far from like the museum.
Yeah, it's like right there, yeah.
Yeah.
Strong Museum.
So we like walk in. It's really dark in there.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a freaking light.
I don't think so.
And I'm pretty sure there's a cigar lounge in the back right.
Yeah.
There were like old dudes in there smoking.
Yeah.
I really didn't pay much attention because this like huge Italian dude. Italian? Is that the right? What did you say?
Oh, definitely Italian.
Big Italian dude goes, "Good evening, gentlemen," or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Good
as
evening.
you walking towards us, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, it could have been like Count Dracula.
It was terrifying.
Freaking weird. And we didn't know anything. We were getting some cigars for my bachelor party. So we got some flavored cigars, knowing nothing. Now, flavored cigars, I probably couldn't even stomach that now. Knowing what I know and appreciating what I appreciate. A flavored cigar is like having hazelnut coffee. It's like you should not infuse tobacco or infuse coffee with some chemical flavor because
people drink it every morning.
The light don't shine where your brain is. Alright?
You hear that, Dad? 8 o'clock hazelnut.
Disgusting. Trash. Pathetic.
Not for everybody.
So that's what we bought. We bought some rum. Like rum something cigars.
Yeah, it was like a random flavor.
It was like rum caramel or something. It was something weird like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. Like, I like rum. That must be good. I'm like, I'll get freaking blasted while I smoke it. And I'm like, this is great. And we bought 6.
A couple of them, yeah.
I ended up smoking like 4 of them. Because I was super nervous before my wedding. I'm like, freaking smoking and drinking anything. And then it came my way. I'm like, gone. Like, to throw up from nervousness.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And you made us wear kilts.
Best thing I ever did.
Honestly, like, as much as I hated that in the moment, That's pretty cool. I mean, how many people can really say that they were in a wedding and had to wear a kilt?
Not just that,
This is a traditional.
I gave you massive heads up. I told you I was going to have kilts on my way when I was like 10. And all of you guys were like, I'm never doing that. I'm never doing that. It made me so happy when all of you were wearing them, bro. I was like, it was like almost the biggest prank. But at the same time, it was real. So it was legit.
But you had to wear it too, so much for your
But
prank.
I wanted to.
Yeah.
But then I let everybody switch into jeans and stuff for the reception.
Yeah.
Which I think worked out well.
Yeah. Those things got hot. Those
Yeah.
kilts?
It was hot that day, right? I don't really
Yeah,
remember.
it was, yeah. Stokey Farms.
Sweet place, sweet venue.
Yeah, it
Just
was
did
really
our
nice.
family pictures there. Let me see here. No prep work's tough, dude. Tough.
Yeah, you're the one that decided to do this.
I know. I had a
Come on, what's your question?
I had a question in mind. What age did you start doing your own laundry?
I don't even know the answer to that. Well, I might have been a senior in high school. That might have been when.
Okay.
But honestly, I can't really remember. It was a while ago.
I was like, I had to start doing like my clothes when I think I was a freshman in high school. But like I didn't have to do them all, but it was kind of like, I had a laundry day, it was like Thursday or something. And like I was supposed to do most of my clothes. I did most of my stuff. My mom did a little bit of stuff, but I did most of it. But it wasn't like my mom like totally like screwed me and let me into the pigs or whatever. It was like, if I was like, hey mom, kind of busy.
Led me to the pigs.
Can you do my clothes? And you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of more like just taking a little bit off my mom's plate. I think at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. That's tough because we asked a bunch of questions. I keep thinking of the same questions I asked you last time. All right, if you're going out to eat somewhere, let's say with Nikki, you're going out for a date. Where would you go? What's the first place that comes into mind? To go for
Our
a date?
normal like place to go out is Jeremiah's.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So not fancy at all.
Not really. I mean, I guess like price wise, it's kind of up there. Like
It's not cheap.
It's no
not
different
cheap.
than Longhorn, really, price wise. Because I get wings, and like 10 wings is like $20,
Yeah, it's not cheap.
and then like a beer is like $10.
Yeah.
And my wife wants a glass of wine, that's $15. So like it's usually $60 out the dinner plus tips. So yeah, Jeremiah's probably, and we just like Jeremiah's. We know a lot of the waitresses because Grace used to work there.
That makes sense for you.
It's kind of like there's a couple of waiters that like Nikki went to college with. It's kind of like our watering hole, if you will. Like it's kind of like our spot, you know. I love their wings. Their burgers are great.
Oh, their bee sting sauce
It's
is
so good.
that's my favorite one.
Their loaded fries
Love it.
are great. They don't.
They do not mess around over there. Their
No.
food, man.
Awesome.
Their food is so good.
And I'm like, I love cooking at home. So when I go out to eat, I want to go out and get something I'm not great at cooking. So like, I rarely go to like Longhorn Steakhouse anymore because I really feel like I've perfected making steak to the point that I cannot handle stomaching steak at a restaurant. So like, it never comes out the way I want. Number two,
I agree with that.
the price is like, I'm like, okay, this delicious steak was $30. Well, I can get really good steak and get like 3 of them for $30.
Right.
And I'm like, that's 3 lunches.
Yeah.
So I can eat steak almost every day this week if I don't go Longhorn. And I would rather have 3 of my own steaks 3 days in a row than have one mediocre steak
Right.
one night.
Yep.
So like Valentine's Day we went to Longhorn. Nikki's birthday, she really wanted to go to Cheesecake Factory. She likes Cheesecake Factory a lot. I like it too. We haven't been there. We figured we hadn't been there since before we got married. It's been 3 years.
Wow.
And it was our first time back. I think part of that was like COVID in 2020 and like all that stuff that was shut down, blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of out of the way.
Blah, blah, blah.
It's in Penfield, right?
Yeah, it is.
So it's like 30, 40 minutes from us. It's kind of a ways.
That is out there.
So we went there, and man, good food.
Oh, it's
Good
great.
food.
It's great.
I forgot how good it is. I forgot how big their menu is. That's the only downside, I think, is how big the menu is. Now, prices have gone up a lot, because we sat at the bar waiting for our table, and I got one Moscow Mule. My wife got a Sangria. That was $30.
Really?
Sangria and a Moscow Mule, $30. Gone. And then, I got this, like, fancy, like, steak sandwich on a toasted, like, French bun.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and we got like crab and spinach dip and
Bougie.
fried mac and cheese.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Nikki got some kind of like chicken French or something. Or she might have gotten a cheeseburger, like a really nice cheeseburger too. She got a cheeseburger with sweet potato fries. And then she got a chocolate cheesecake. And then I got my favorite. Key lime cheesecake.
That's interesting.
It's one of my favorites. I like key lime pie a lot,
Oh, I love key lime pie.
and key lime cheesecake is not much different.
Oh, it's completely different. I hate cheesecake.
But have you had key lime?
No, and I never will. I do not eat cheesecake. I don't eat anything with cream cheese in it except for bagels. That is one thing that people think is weird about me, but I will only eat cream cheese on bagels, and I eat bagel with cream cheese every single morning for breakfast. I will not eat, if you have frosting, if you have cream cheese frosting, not eating it.
Let me ask you this. Oh. Yeah, that's cream cheese. I put cream cheese in my buffalo chicken wing dip.
Don't like it.
Yeah, you do. You don't like my buffalo chicken wing dip? Really?
No.
Why?
Because it's got cream cheese in it.
How'd you know?
I don't like it, dude. I don't like buffalo wing dip.
Alright, your question. This guy. Or my question. You asked where you go out.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you could buy any car you want, what would it be?
That's not really a... Like, what's the price range?
Up to 150.
150,000?
Yep.
No, that's a good question. That's a pretty big price range. So I would... You know, I love my BMWs. I would definitely get the new M4.
Nice. I like the
For
M4
sure.
a lot.
For sure. Yeah.
I like the old M4 too.
Yep.
From a
The,
few
the
years
one
back.
from my generation.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorites. All black.
Yeah, BMWs are just beautiful.
If I was in that price range though, it'd probably be a Mercedes G-Wagon for me.
Good luck paying for gas. Gas guzzlers.
Based off of what I own right now, do you think I really could?
Good point. Good point. Yeah, G-Wagons are no joke. These things are great.
I don't look at the gas pump. I just pump.
Swipe the card and put the pump in, yeah.
Every time I get a Red Bull, I fill up my truck.
My goodness. That's good. That's my next question. You have to get rid of one of these. And then you can never have it ever again. You have to remove it from you have to remove it from existence.
From the rotation?
Mountain Dew, Red Bull, Reign, or Diet Coke. Right? Diet Coke's the one you drink?
Coke Zero.
Coke Zero. That's what it is. Out of those four.
Mountain Dew, Reign, Red Bull, Coke Zero.
You have to you can never have it again, and
Mountain
you forget
Dew.
what it tastes like.
Mountain Dew.
Wow.
All day. I barely ever have Mountain Dew now.
Dang.
Yep. I drink Reign, Red Bull, and I drink Coke Zero all the time.
If I were to ask you that question 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, it would have been
10 years ago.
no chance Mountain Dew's number one.
Coke Zero is a close second, only because they just changed it.
Did they? Like the formula?
Yeah, so they like rebranded, and it's Coke Zero Sugar. It doesn't say Coke Zero anymore, and I can taste the difference. Now, I still like it, but it's definitely different. And it's more similar to real Coke, which I think was the original goal of Coke Zero.
But you like the taste of Coke Zero more.
Turned into its own Coke,
Yeah.
and they've like taken it off the shelves. Now, I think that has something to do with during COVID, a lot of companies lost access to alternatives to things like sugar and aspartame.
Oh.
So the diet industry had a really hard time. And I think that they found a new alternative that made the formula a little bit different. It made it taste a little bit different. And they had to rebrand because it didn't fall under the Coke Zero brand. But they also couldn't provide Coke Zero anymore because that resource is like super expensive to get or extremely difficult because of things like that ship that got stuck in that canal.
Oh, yeah.
China, Japan, Thailand getting, possibly invaded. All these different things play into me not getting freaking Coke Zero, which could play into the next World War. So,
welcome back to the Conspiracy Theorists. Did you bring your tinfoil hat with you? Because it's going to be a bumpy ride. Interesting. Your question.
no, that was mine. I asked you about.
No, I asked you what you could
Oh
remove.
shoot,
Yeah.
that's right. Dang.
I'm
Son.
not getting out of this.
Do you want kids?
Whoa, now we're getting deep.
That was getting a little too surface.
Now we're getting, like, life-changing decisions here. I have my vasectomy scheduled. No.
I'm sure you did.
No. I don't know, honestly. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I like kids.
Probably depends on the girl.
Yeah, I think it does, yeah. Because I like kids, but I don't know. Big commitment.
It's hard to think about kids if you're not in a serious relationship too. Like,
Yeah, I would say for right now, if you were asking me, like, and you are asking me right now, obviously, right now I'd say not at the time being,
Right.
but maybe in the future.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not, like, opposed to it, but I'm not, like...
Right, like if you married the right girl and she was like, yeah, I want 2 kids.
But I'm not,
You're
like...
gonna be like, no.
Right. And I'm not sitting here also, like, I have to have kids. I'm gonna, like...
Like if you met a girl that didn't want kids, you'd be okay with that too.
Yeah.
You're kind of like,
No, exactly.
which is kind of how you are with everything.
Yeah. I just kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
I'm just here for a good
I
time.
figured that's what your answer kind of was, but.
Yep. All right. If you could get the top of the line truck from any brand, which brand would you go with?
Which brand or which trim
Which
package?
brand, but then which truck would it be that they make? If you had to pick. So Ford, GMC, Dodge.
All right. So obviously the only runners I would say are Ford, Chevy, GMC, which are Chevy and GMC are like the same, and then Dodge. Don't talk to me about Toyota.
I
Don't
didn't
talk to me about
mention
Nissan.
No.
If I was looking at smaller trucks, I would consider Tacoma, obviously. That's small.
We're not
truck.
talking about that.
Out. But as it stands right now, I'd be hard pressed because the Fords look really nice. The new ones are nice.
Yeah.
Super clean. Love the body style. Their paint job looks great. I like their color options a lot. But my favorite overall truck look and trim package is the GMC AT4.
AT4. So what is that?
That's a step above Denali, and they just added it in 2019.
Okay, gotcha.
And it so it's like everything Denali has, but then it's got a couple things like each seat says AT4 on it. It's got marker lights on all the wheel wells. There's a bunch of cool little things like that. They have a midnight edition of it. It looks sick. Come fully tinted, all blacked out. The smoke, all the marker lights are smoked.
Dang.
Black rims. I would get that in diesel too. And that thing for your rips. It's like nice truck. And it's like, if you bought it new, it's like 85. Jeez. So.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's the thing with trucks right now is like
Expensive.
it's like, do you want BMW or do you want a truck? It's pretty much like it's oddly There's actually funny. I think I've sent it to you before. That TikToker with the guy. He's like running a welder off his truck. He's like, you brag about your financial standing in your Mercedes or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, I got more money than that in the back of my truck.
Yeah, it's like some dude out of the middle of nowhere, middle of Louisiana.
He's like, I need this truck just to make a living.
Yeah.
He's like, I got more money tied up in my welding machine or something like that.
Right.
Which is true, and that's kind of the world I live in. Like, you live in your truck, so the next thing besides your bed in your house that you spend your money on, it's like your truck. It's not like other people where they're like, well, I just need to get to work. So I'm going to get like the lowest trim package, Honda Civic, because I only have a 10-minute commute. It's like, well, and I work from home 3 days a week. It's like, well, yeah, I don't think I would really care about my car either. At the same time, if I had that, I would want a really nice car because I'm like, oh, I barely drive it. I'm going to keep it in great shape. The expenses will be low on it. Cool. But I like vehicles, so.
That's the thing. It all comes down to what you value. You know, a lot of people, they spend a lot of money on going out to eat every other night. I don't do that at all. I'd barely go out to eat as it is.
Yeah.
I'd rather spend money in my car.
We order pizza in once a week, I think. And that's more out of convenience.
Yeah. Just comes down to values.
Sweet.
Look at this claw going.
That's mint, dude. That's mint.
It's definitely about to fall off, but yeah. The claw.
How long do you think you're gonna keep this BMW for before you get the next one?
Definitely once I pay it off totally, which I'm almost done actually paying it off.
Oh, you've been
already
overpaying on it?
Oh yeah.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Well, it's not paid off yet, but we're getting there. Getting pretty close.
Dude, I have one payment. I have 2 payments left on my wife's car.
Nice.
That feels good when you know it's like, oh, I only owe $400 on this. You know you can pay it off, but my interest rate's so low. It's like, I'll just wait till the end of October, I guess.
Right.
It's kind of dumb, but whatever.
Yeah, so definitely once that gets paid off for sure. And then I don't know what I'll do next. I wanna keep this car for as long as possible.
So, would you think about getting another BMW and making it like a second car and making it like your summer car and keeping that one really mint?
I don't think I have a real reason to have 2 cars. There's just not, like, for you it makes sense because Nikki needs to have something when you're not around. For me, I really just need one vehicle.
Yeah, and I just sold my second truck. And I thought,
because you don't need it.
Well, and I thought, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll hold on to my old truck. Like, I might need it.
It's an expensive thing to might need.
And the poor stupid thing just sat there rotting away. It's like such a waste.
Yeah.
You know, it's a waste. Would you get something else?
And now we got live fireworks. That's funny. It's like right next door. That's crazy.
I live in the middle of nowhere, by the way, so it's like one of 3 people.
Yeah, it's really funny.
And I'm one of those 3 people, and it wasn't me.
I have friends in the area that have fireworks, but it's not them. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what I'll do next, honestly. I love my Beamer, but, you know, maybe I'll try a different car. Move into a different brand, who knows? We'll see. Yeah. Alright. Question for you. So, now that you've lived in your own house for a couple weeks, what is the biggest downside so far to owning your own property?
I have it's kind of a funny story about this. I think I mentioned it actually maybe on a podcast we recorded.
What?
Well, I don't know if this counts. I'll ask you if this counts. It might not. My appliance situation.
Yeah, you did mention that.
Would you count that?
Yeah, no, that's definitely.
Yeah, so
Trying to figure that out.
Somebody offered to buy us, brand new appliances. The house came with some.
So somebody bought you appliances.
Yeah, Nikki's grandfather.
but couldn't have been at a worse time, I guess, in terms of the market.
Because of the market.
Yeah.
Not even
Perfect
just,
time in terms of when you moved in would have been perfect. If it had gotten there right then. But not how it worked out.
So my wife's like, oh, sweet, we'll make a few $100 sell our appliances. I'm like, yeah, just be careful because, like, shipping dates are moving around a lot these days just because people can't find truckers, people can't find people to deliver, whatever reason. She's like, yeah, you know, whatever. Like, and I'm like, yeah, you know, like, I used to deliver appliances. I'm just letting you know, like, crap's not great right now, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I know, but, you know, like, you know, and I get it, like, she saw money. And when I see cash, I'm like, all right, here you go. $20 is $20, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so.
Don't put that on a t-shirt.
So, anyways, you know, we sell the washer and dryer. She's like, hey, babe, I got them to pay another $150 for you to drive it and deliver it. It was like 45 minutes away. Like $150, 45 minutes away, 2 hours of driving. You know, that's $75 an hour. I'm like, mint. That's a good hourly rate. Perfect. I'm stoked. And I'm like not really thinking about it at this point. I'd already told her, like, you make sure to be careful. You know, I didn't really want to sell this stuff till our new stuff came in. I get it though. She didn't want the clutter hanging around.
Right.
I get it. That Saturday, sells the stove. And I'm like, great. Now we can't make eggs. She's like, only till Wednesday. They're coming Wednesday. Get a call Tuesday. Hey, your stove's not coming till October 6th. October 6th. Now, this was like the 12th or the 13th of September. Now, at the time, we didn't think that included the washer and dryer until Wednesday when the washer and dryer didn't come. Then my wife spent hours on the phone with Home Depot and managers and blah, blah, blah. They're trying to pull and get the washer and dryer for us at least. It's tough, man. That freaking sucks. My laundry's been getting done at like my in-laws, my parents, like, and everybody's been really great. We're kind of cycling through everybody's washer and dryer. The thing is, like, I get really dirty clothes at work, and I need.
You're a dirty
clothes.
guy.
I'm a dirty guy too. And I go through probably 3 t-shirts a day alone. So, like, I sweat a lot. I mean, I wear a t-shirt to work. I'll shower. I might go back out and mow for myself. Then I shower. And then I put a t-shirt on, hang out in my house. It's not hard for me to go through 2 to 3, sometimes even 4 t-shirts, depending on what's going on. Like, if I go to the gym, easily 3 to 4 t-shirts.
That's a lot.
Yeah. A lot of socks, a lot of boxers, a lot of fun stuff. The only thing I, like, will re-wear are pants. I'll wear the same pair of pants for like 2, maybe 3 days, depending on what I'm doing.
Yeah, pants, you're good.
Especially if I just am wearing them for work, it's like whatever. But yeah, so like laundry's big. That's why I own so many t-shirts too. It's like I literally go through a bunch of my t-shirts every week just because of that. Yeah, so that kind of, I don't know if that answers your question fully, but that's that's a pain in the freaking
So
balls.
appliances, that's something you probably wouldn't even think about. Because you think about moving into a new house, you're worried about moving all your furniture, making sure everything's good with that, making sure your electricity's on, your water, gas, all that stuff. You're not really thinking about your appliance situation. And if somebody's telling you they're going to buy you new ones, you're probably just thinking, oh, yeah, perfect. They'll just, we'll get them in, get the old ones out, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Before you know it, you got rid of the old ones and the new ones aren't coming yet.
And before COVID, you probably would have been okay.
Yeah.
After COVID, not so much.
You are screwed.
And we're kind of in a bind too, because we're like, well, we'll refund you, and you can order something different. It's like, oh, but will I have the same problem? And then is that going to push me out even farther than at that point? So I'm sticking with it now. Yeah, is what it is. And the stove we ordered is sick. It's got a griddle in the middle.
That's cool.
For pancakes and stuff.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
that's cool. Is it a glass top or?
No, it's gas.
Really?
Yeah, so it's got 4 burners and then a griddle in the middle.
That's fantastic.
For like bacon and stuff, too. That's
gonna be man. I need to come over when you get that going. About to cook up a feast.
You can house it, watch my cat.
Not with those cameras.
I'll even turn them off. You can even unplug them.
Will and his cameras, man. I had to watch his house one time, and that was just creepy, man.
I was in Virginia, and I was just messing with this dude. I was like turning music on and off, and like.
No. That's not what was scary.
What was
I was
scary?
sitting on your couch watching whatever on TV, and then all of a sudden I hear this electric movement, like gears moving, like.
Oh, the camera moves on its own too.
No.
Was
But
this me?
it was you moving because you were panning across the room to find where I was. I turn over my shoulder and the camera's just staring right at me. And then I get a text from you like, "Hey, how are you liking whatever show was on?" And I'm like, "Dude,
I was just messing with
this
you.
is too much. I'm not. I told you. I was like, I'm not watching your house again.
If I have
doing that.
cameras, but what if I unplug them? And besides,
Maybe.
my wife wants me to get outdoor cameras and only have outdoor cameras.
It's okay. That makes more sense. It's weird having them in your house, dude.
I know.
If somebody hacks that, they're watching you walk around your house. That doesn't make you nervous?
They can watch me walk around naked. It's fine.
That freaks me out. I don't know. To each their own, I guess.
Homeland Security wants to watch me walk from the shower to my bedroom. That's fine. Good on them.
Well, that's an open invitation.
That was your question?
Yeah, about the appliances.
Okay.
Or you're moving in, basically. The worst thing about it.
All right. I don't know, what's your favorite bottle of wine and what kind of wine?
Oh, shoot. Good question.
And the price point.
Another good question. Wine is one of those things where I'm kind of nervous to really get into because I don't want it to turn into like my coffee obsession where I start buying like $60 bottles of wine consistently.
Same.
So
Because then I'll never serve it.
right. So for now, I'm good with like $10 to $15 bottle of wine. And
That's where I'm at.
19 Crimes is right at that price point. So I drink a lot of their stuff because I
And
like
you
it.
like their stuff?
Yeah, it's decent. I mean, it's not the best,
Do
obviously.
you get good flavor from it though?
It could be better, but it could also be worse. It's not a box wine, you know.
That's
at
how I
least
feel about Josh though too.
it's very similar to Josh wine.
Josh is great.
It's just like that, yeah.
I like their cabs. Is it cab that you like?
I've had a lot of their different stuff, and I like pretty much all of it.
What's your favorite? Cab, Merlot? Your red wine,
Dude,
right?
That's the thing. I like both.
You like white, too?
last weekend I had a really nice California Chardonnay,
Really?
and it was fantastic.
I like some Chardonnays.
But you have to. The thing is, and I am starting to get into it, which I know is dangerous because that's gonna break the bank. But you have like it. You know, it depends on what you're eating and stuff like that. You know what goes with what. So I don't know very much at all when it comes to wine, but I do know, you know, red goes with dark meats. You know, a white should go with like light meats, like chicken and stuff. So like Friday night, I was cooking up a good chicken meal with like vegetables and potatoes and stuff. So I had a nice white wine, and it paired really well with it. I forgot where it was from. It wasn't
Like noticeably paired well?
Yeah, it just
You were like, this is freaking hits the spot.
right. And if it had been a red wine, it just would have seemed odd and wrong. So I am starting to get into stuff like that, and kind of. I know
Cool.
it's dangerous.
Hey, we could go down that route. I got a nice cab in the house right now.
Do you? Might have to crack it open. No, but I honestly.
We could do another After Dark episode tonight.
Let's do it. But the thing is, like, going back to your question about, you know, am I red or white wine? I know a lot of people are, like, they like specific ones.
That's me. Like, I'm more red,
Yeah.
but dude, that really goes with me. Like, I really rarely, I eat chicken out of pure need for protein. I don't really like chicken that much. Like, I like it, but I don't. Like, I would rather have steak. I would rather have venison.
Right.
And I like darker whiskeys. Like, Scotch is a really strong, bold whiskey. Redbreast is a lighter Irish whiskey that I like a lot, but it's spicy, and I like spicy things. I like bold flavors. And white wine, same with cigars. And everything I have is bold. and it's what I like. And I finally had a couple cabs last year, and I had never had wine I liked. And my wife likes wine a lot, so I've tried wine she's been having me try wine for like 6 years. And I'm like, okay, I'll have a sip of this, like, bleh, you know. And I think I had a buddy over, and he's kind of into wine. He's like, bro, you're into all this other stuff. You need to get into wine. He's like, you love cooking. You need to get into. And he said something like, Dave Smith said to me about beer. There's beer for everyone. He's like, there's wine for everyone. You just have to find it, and you have to, like, you know, build your palate up.
Yeah, 100%.
And he's like, you know, he knows me pretty well. And he's like, you know, you like both flavors? He's like, you really probably need to have a cab. I had a cab, dude. Loved it. And
cabs are great.
And it was a California. It was in 2017. It's like a $30 bottle, I think, maybe 26, something like that. It was awesome. It was like a Coppola or something.
Yeah.
Brand. Loved it. And I've had a lot of those since. I found Josh is like a nice affordable cab. 19 Crimes has a nice affordable cab, kind of the $15 range. And yeah, I've looked at the $50, $90 bottles. I'm like, man, like, that's not that bad. I'm like thinking, I'll spend more than that on a bottle of whiskey. But I'm like, wait a second. You open up a bottle of whiskey, it can last you forever.
Yeah.
I've had some bottles of whiskey for 2 years now. That wine has to be drank in the next, like, 12 hours. Maybe 24. I have, like, a capper thing that goes back on, like those rubber.
Yeah.
But how long did, like, once you get that aeration in there.
Yeah, you can drink it, but it's not. Yeah, you're not drinking it for more than a couple days. Like by then, it's disgusting.
You'll taste it. It tastes terrible.
Yeah, but you can drink it. Yeah.
I've used it for cooking at that point.
Yeah, you can do that. You could drink it 2 nights in a row though, and you'll be okay. It won't be as good.
Me and my wife have done that, and I'm like, eh. And almost every time I open it, I'm like, gotta finish it. So I do. But
yeah,
that's just how I am. I really like, but I like cabs, and I would like to build up a collection of nice wines over the next few years, but it's going to take time, and I'm definitely not going to be expensive. Like handing it out. No offense to anybody who comes over, but I'm not going to be like, hey, here's my, you know, what was $40 bottle of wine that they don't make anymore. It's from 2017, and now it's worth $100. I'm not necessarily going to serve that, but that's something that also kind of puts an impression on me about wine. It's like you could buy a $40 bottle now, and that wine goes up in value as it sits on your shelf, unopened. And I like stuff like that. I think that's cool. There's a cool. I think there's something to say about the stuff we're into. There has to be a cool factor.
Yeah, for sure.
A guy I watch on YouTube is a gear guy. He's kind of weird. Wrangler star.
Oh yeah.
When he talks about like a new knife or something, he'll be like, "This gives me the fizz." That's what he says, the fizz. And it's like kind of like it just like kind of turns my wheels, gets me excited. And that's like something about wine that gets me excited. It's like, oh wow, that's a sweet claw, dude.
I know. Look at that sucker. Look at that claw. Fantastic.
Yeah. So that's kind of. That's definitely where I'm at, like...
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, I've had really great white wines, I've had really great dark red wines also, and I like both of them. Like, I don't like the super, like, a Pinot Noir, I don't love those so much, I would say. Those are a little bit too dark for me.
I don't know if I've ever had one.
I think those are darker than cabs.
Okay.
I've only had like 1 or 2 and I didn't really like it. But yeah.
I find Merlots are a little sweet for me.
I haven't had a Merlot in a while. I don't remember what those taste like.
I'm trying to think. I had a Merlot recently though and I loved it. So it also depends on branding.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
Price, brand, the year, the vineyard. All this stuff. just like coffee, just like cigars, just like whiskey, just like cars, it all comes down to where it's made, how it's made, you know, who's making it.
Yep. And if it ain't made in Germany, I ain't driving it. That's how I live my life. No, just kidding.
You probably will forever, but
next I'm getting a Mercedes. And then a Porsche.
I thought that was a good question.
Yeah, whose question was that?
That was mine.
What was the question?
I asked you what your favorite wine was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a good question. Yeah. Alright. Man, I don't even know anymore. I mean, we asked a lot of questions.
We know each other so well.
I know, I'm trying. Yeah, it's hard to think of stuff that, like, they wouldn't know, but I know. But I don't know.
Come on, dude. You got something.
I think most people just know who you are anyways, just by... Anybody that's met you pretty much knows what you're about within the first 5 minutes of their conversation. Pretty much.
Yeah. I think that's why I interview really well. Like, I've never, to this day...
Well, you're an open book. Like, if
I've gotten a job offer at every interview I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah. Or I've gotten offered a second interview, and if I've gone to the second interview, then I've gotten a job offer. Always. Even for jobs I don't think I was qualified for. And I think it's just purely out of... I'm completely honest in interviews, and I'm really transparent. And I'm like... above and beyond, like, about, like, this is what I know how to do and this is what I don't. And, like, I don't care. Like, this is how I am. I don't try to BS at all. Like, super transparent. Yeah, like, somebody asked me in an interview recently, they were like, what does success mean to you? And I got the interviewer to start crying.
No way.
Yeah, bro. Dead straight. On Zoom.
No. Okay,
Zoom.
so what answer did you give him?
Now, this is going to be rough, because I don't remember the exact wording. But I was like, yeah, that's actually been something I've been really struggling with for the last year or so. You know, ever since COVID hit and things like that, after, you know, kind of slowing my business down and having to shut it down, you know, I've had to really rethink what I thought success was. You know, I kind of thought that I had failed because I wasn't still doing my business. And I, like, went through this whole thing about what I thought success used to be and how my perspective had changed to being more about success is really based off of who you are as a person. Are you an honest and respectable person? Are you honorable? You know, that's what I did. I was super transparent, honest, told her exactly how I felt, but also, like, added a little bit more extra emotion behind it than I normally would, because I'm not really an emotional person. But
you gotta sell it.
I gotta sell it.
It's like, I'm getting this job.
But I can sell anything, so. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. But then I turned her down, and she never emailed me back. So.
You left that woman scarred. She was crying in tears, and she was just like, wow. That was it.
I was, like, super respectful, too. She offered me... She's like, this is what we can pay you. We'd like to have you come meet in with our commercial manager or whatever. And I was like, yeah. So, like, I actually took another job yesterday. And I'm really sorry. Thanks for the opportunity. And, you know, never emailed me back.
That's all you can say.
I'm like, wow. I feel bad for you.
Dang it. That was a massive claw.
That was a legit claw, dude.
That was so big. Dang. Another one bites the dust.
I've relit this like 100 times.
Dang,
so
dude.
Talk.
That's the thing about it. I think the key is just consistently hitting it, like, just so it doesn't go
Not too
out.
much, not too little.
Right.
It's kind of like this perfect.
I think I'm getting better at that, because in the past I've had to keep relighting it. But this time I haven't relit it one time. And
My
it's
buddy
still
Chris
smoking.
never relights, but he burns through them so fast. He could smoke 2 or 3 at the time I smoke 1.
So So yeah, good news is there's no neighbors behind us, but the bad news is there's like a freaking highway right here.
Well, there's a million trucks too, just like rolling through.
Driving up and down.
Rolling coal.
We live out in the middle of nowhere now, Will knows. Yep. Crazy. Don't know what happened to that raccoon. But yeah, this is definitely the longest episode in Java experiment history.
Yeah.
We've been going for a minute now.
2 hours.
Yeah, and this cigar has lasted the entire time. And I've had some pretty nice sized claws out of it.
And you haven't had to relight.
No.
That means that you're consistently smoking it and it's lasted that long. This is a solid smoker. That's cool.
I'm telling you, this thing right here is my new favorite.
I wouldn't go based off of me because I had to leave, deal with Charlotte and stuff, and it's gone out a bunch of times. But still got good flavor. It's still really smooth. Still, what do you think about that last third? You feel like it's been pretty smooth?
Yeah, not really changed at all.
Dude, a consistent flavor through the entire thing from start to finish is rare and super good. That's like...
And $22 worth.
Yeah.
That's crazy how expensive these things are. But it does last a long time. Like, you're talking 2 hours.
And this is the thing, dude. I got into cigars. Why can't I get into wine? Because once you light a cigar, it's done.
The more you know.
I think my wife would like me to get into it. Like, I got into whiskey. Just because I would build her collection up, essentially. But I also don't want, like, women coming over for freaking Bible studies.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you guys opened that $120 bottle. Thank you. That's great. And they would be completely content with a $15 bottle of, like, white wine out of the fridge.
Yeah.
And that is the problem. Like,
it's the same thing as coffee. If somebody comes over, because we've got, like, Black Rifle on our shelf, but if somebody comes over and they don't drink that and they drink mine, I'm going to be pissed. My coffee is not cheap.
yeah. And that's how I feel about whiskey too. It's like, I'll ask people. I'm not mean about it, but I'm also kind of like, so, like, what do you normally drink? Like, when it's whiskey, coffee, beer too. I'm like, what do you normally drink at home? If they're like, oh, I drink Bush, I'm like, oh, I think I have Jenny in my cooler out back. If they're like, oh, I like the Vermont Alchemist, I'm like, oh, so you like good beer.
This guy's serious.
I'm like, that's an $8 can of beer. I'm like,
yeah.
I got you, bro. But that's the thing, is like, and same with ciders too. What's your favorite cider?
Yeah.
Oh, Angry Orchard. Oh, cool. I think I have a 1911 in my fridge. You can have that.
I think I can go grab some from the creek in the back.
Yeah. Might not be sweet enough for you. Yeah, but if they're like, oh, I really like, the Blue Barn, blah blah blah, that they sell at Wegmans now, I'm like, oh yeah, I got their blueberry one right here, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not like anti-sharing that stuff with people. I love sharing my passion.
But you gotta respect it.
But it's like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna pour you a Lagavulin 16 at a bar. Like a glass of it, it's like $30-$40. So, you know what I mean? It's like, and a bottle of it is like 90 to 110, depending on where you go.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just pour that for somebody who's never even had scotch before. And I'll ask them too, like, do you like smokier flavor? Like, I ask a lot of questions, and you can tell too, because like, if I'm asking that question to somebody like Jack, he's gonna be like, he knows what flavors he likes, he knows from all sorts of things, and you can kind of be like, yeah, I like this, this, and this, and I can get an idea of like, oh, I think you would like this. If they're like, what? Like, what are you talking about, dude? Like I'm weird? Yeah, I think I have a $20 rye somewhere in here, like, or I can pour you this Kraken rum and put it on ice for you.
Right. What do you mean by peat?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got just the thing for you. It's in the fridge.
Yeah. It's not in this cabinet at all.
Oh my goodness.
It's not in my wife's cabinet either, the freaking wine cabinet. And that's the nice. My wife likes good whiskey. Like, she likes Irish whiskey a lot. So like, the red breast she likes a lot. And, that's cool. You know, it's something that we can share a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's why I get away with so much too. Like, my wife doesn't like beer, but she gets why I'm into it, you know, because she's into things too.
Right. Yeah.
The cigar thing, she's not a big fan of, but it has nothing to do with like health or anything. It literally just has to do with how my breath will taste for like a day or two after. She's like, you smoked. Nah.
Will's been down that road several times.
Yeah.
Never ended well.
Especially recently. I've definitely smoked a lot more this summer than ever before.
Well, I mean, you have a lot to celebrate.
Yeah.
New house.
That's right.
New kid, new dog, new cat.
There's guys that I'm in a couple cigar groups now on Facebook, and there's guys who are like, yeah, just had my second kid was born last night and lighting up this $30 cigar. I'm like, that's cool. Like,
I love that.
You're gonna relate that cigar
that's
to
fantastic.
that kid being born, and I didn't do that with Charlotte. And the next kid, I absolutely will be doing that, just because I did it for the house. Because cigars are, I would say, part of my life now. I think it's probably an accurate
Well, you own like
statement.
40 of them now, so.
Yeah.
Pretty serious about it.
Well, it's like, I'm probably going to order a 5-pack of the Judge. Because I'd love to have those around, dude. Oh.
The Judge?
But my father makes a ton of great cigars. They have a daily smoker that
Like
they
a
sell.
cheaper option?
It's a daily smoker by my father, though, and it's the highest rated daily smoker. It breaks down to like $4 a cigar. You can get a 5-pack for $14. And it's a great price, and apparently it's awesome. And I think for the next Cigars and Coffee, we might try that one. Because that one is apparently, based off reviews, awesome. And for the price,
Can't beat it.
I would like to throw a cheaper cigar out to the audience, just especially for, I feel like a lot of people that watch this probably aren't cigar people, and if they want to get into it, I want to get you into it on the right path and don't want to bust the bank first. So if you can get a 5-pack for $14, you can have a couple buddies over, you can smoke them all in one night.
Yeah.
You don't need a humidor. That's perfect. You don't have, if there's like, you have 4 buddies over, you only smoke 4 out of the 5. If you have to throw one away, you're like, what'd you lose? You're not gonna, but you're not gonna throw one of these away.
Yeah, that's true.
You're gonna be like, I have to stay up all night and smoke all of them, which I've done that. So yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty good stuff, man.
Well, thank you for joining us, Cigars and Coffee. I think we'll probably call it
100%.
good on this one.
Longest episode of all time.
Yeah, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you guys all have like really long car rides or nothing to do on Saturday morning. Out.
Out.